want to talk about constipation and colic today in infants. So we're getting a lot of patients emailing us or social media messaging, texts. How is it working? How does this work so well? How does chiropractic adjustment work so well for infants with colic and constipation? We'll talk about that. But first let's talk about why it's actually happening. So it's really, the cause of this is stress when it comes down to it. And someone might wonder, well, how can a baby or an infant or newborn have stress? Well, there's many ways, and I'll give you some of the common examples. They're going to start with stress during the pregnancy. Maybe there was a breech positioning or a bad positioning. Maybe the mother was in a lot of pain. There, certainly could have been dietary issues. The birth itself could have had either the medications involved. Maybe there were epidurals. Maybe there was a C-section. Those are all not necessarily wrong, but stressful procedures. And then the babies, maybe they're coming into the world with forceps or a vacuum. Maybe they're a preemie. Maybe they need to be away from the mother in the NICU, so they can't be near the mother, or maybe they cannot breastfeed. Maybe they're forced to use formula earlier in life. These are just a few examples, and many of them happen simultaneously, which is kind of like this perfect combination or storm of issues. And so then the baby is now stressed. And what I want you to think about, I have a rubber band here to give an example. So imagine a rubber band at neutral, and now I want you to imagine all those examples I gave you, each stress that occurs, it kind of makes that rubber band expand even more. And eventually the rubber band has so much stress on it, it really can't take anything else. And so when we see these babies, when they come in, they're very taut. When you're holding your baby, you'll almost feel like it's not relaxed, it's not a soft muscle, it's just very rigid. These babies that have the constipation, they're usually writhing or making some sort of strange face like this. When they're crying, the cry is generally very high-pitched, not just "I'm hungry." For those parents that have experienced this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It makes you want to pull your hair out, let alone the suffering that your precious bundle of joy is going through. So, how does the adjustment work? Well, it's this really safe, easy, small pressure that we just put into to the baby. We access those nerves through points on the spine. Sometimes we'll have to go in through the stomach. The stomach is a muscle in and of itself. And again, when we're starting to irritate those nerves, the brain is trying to communicate to the body, but it's very hard when it's so rigid and tight. Those adjustments are helping to release that tension. And when that happens, your body's going to go back into what we call a parasympathetic state. It will rest better. So whether it's an adult or a child, one of the first things they're going to start to notice, either in the first or second adjustment in the first week, they're going to start to sleep better. And it's usually going to be this miraculous hallelujah type experience that we just expect, because we know that's what's going to happen. Again, back to this state, when we're like this is a fight or flight response. When we get out of the fight or flight response, the body goes back to a better state of healing, which is going to be better rest. They're going to eat better. They're going to go to the bathroom better. And really that's how it works. It's generally on a moderate case going to take, the adjustment takes maybe a few minutes. We'll do that a few times a week for a few weeks to show consistency, and then they're done. A really severe case might take a second month just to kind of get to 100% improvement. As far as, is there dietary, we got some questions, is there dietary recommendations? Yeah, sometimes we'll have to make sure the mother's not taking any dairy. If the baby has no breast milk and they're only on formula, we may need to modify, or maybe put some omega-3 in the formula, a liquid omega-3. We have a non-dairy version of a probiotic and enzyme that can be helpful. But we don't always need to go that route either. Those are just some secondary steps that we'll sometimes take. Either way, all these kids get better. So share this with your friends. Unfortunately, a lot of parents do not know that chiropractic works great for kids. Make sure the office that you get referred to is an office that sees children in pregnancy, because not all offices specialize in that. And certainly if you're in Chicago, come and see us. I'm Dr. Heath McKinley. Hope you learned a lot. Bye.